Happy Thursday and good now, everybody. This is the Rise Up Morning Show, your place for no hype crypto headlines, a theme every week, including NFTs this week, Web3 101 last week, tons of fun, and always answers to your crypto questions. Whether you listen morning, noon, or night, it is time to wake up and smell the crypto so that all of us, the faceless many, can leverage this technology to, we say, rise up. Time to rise up, my friends, and I am so glad to be here with you. We've made it through another week. Can you believe it? I am so amazed at how quickly time flies. Everybody says 2024 is going a little slow. I feel like it's going quite fast. Hey, Angel, good morning to you. Good morning, Ren. Good morning, everybody. If it's your first time tuning in, my name is Evan. If it's not your first time tuning in, you're saying, what the hell? Why can't we get rid of this guy? Where's the other host? I'm going to be joined shortly by my good friend, Mr. Alex Popovich, and we are going to lead you through some headlines. And because it's Thursday, as we unpack some stuff, we're going to have a lot of fun today, too. We are giving away the final secret word for our POAP. And if you like this show, then, hey, don't fret. We're not going anywhere. We're coming back next week. We're here every Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, 1 p.m. UTC. And also, you can catch these episodes on YouTube at Faceless_Labs. Faceless Labs is the company on a mission to lead the financial revolution and empower the faceless many. And you, yes, you, are one of the many. So join us there and join us on Discord, where the conversation never ends at discord.gg/themany. Discord.gg/themany. Alex, my friend, how you doing, brother?
Good, very good. All right.
I appreciate that you always know what I'm trying to say, even though you got to turn me up as you get there.
Yeah, I don't know. I always think I just keep doing the same thing repeatedly, like set the volume before I get up there. And then it puts me up and it bottoms out the volume again.
Man, it's okay. It's okay. Happy Thursday to you. Happy day after Valentine's Day. Happy Lent. I know you're really celebrating, leaning into Lent very hard this year, right? That's what I heard.
Yeah. What is it again?
Lent is the day after Fat Tuesday, and in
That's
ancient
right.
and modern Christian traditions, it is the period of time that signals Jesus' prep to go die for the sins of humanity on the cross. 39 days from now, a few years ago, Jesus of Nazareth was crucified by some Romans. And I don't know how much I want to say about it now. I would like to make some more videos about my thoughts on that. Dave, our friend, invited me to talk about it. He heard me talking about my faith and talking about all that stuff. But I actually had a really unhinged idea for a live, and I want to know what you think about it.
All right. While you tell me about your unhinged idea, random weird question. How does
Okay.
does it look straight up and down?
It looks, yeah, incredibly straight, actually. Like
Hmm.
any straighter, and you'd be asking people to call you an alpha.
Hmm. Well, you should anyway. Um, well, no, just because new phone.
It does look
Yeah,
good. It does look
and
really
the
good.
my old phone had a case with this little deal on it, to like
Yeah.
clip onto the gimbal and stay upright.
Mhm.
This one rotates a little bit, and so my phone is like a little bit off. But here's my old phone on the way to Evan. Unfortunately, even though it would be a significant upgrade for him, my old phone is on its way back to Samsung to get me a gigantic discount on this very expensive
Nice.
phone.
Nice, man. Uh,
I do enjoy that everyone in here
is in on it.
is aware that priority number one is to
Yeah. My
get
phone is
Evan
like
a
one
new
of those
device.
characters in a movie on life support. You can't see the wires, but they're there.
The only thing that you need to ask Evan about his phone to understand how dire his situation is Evan, how many times have you taken your phone physically apart to upgrade a component of it?
More than one.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
um,
Evan's the only person I know that can say that.
Torii says I'm tempted to mail in our house phone to Evan. You check out my house phone. My house phone is this isn't look how small this thing is. It's as big as one of my fingers. This is an iPhone. I think it's a 6, maybe a 4. I don't really remember, but this is like my backup. It does make calls. It still has that
Incredible.
charger that we use today, but it does have a
Incredible,
headphone jack, which is cool.
dude. I just went from the 21 Ultra to the S24 Ultra.
Sounds like a
And
spaceship, dude.
it's yeah, I think that next year I'm really hoping they find a way to make the name a little bit longer.
Yeah, yeah, no, of course.
There's not enough letters and numbers in it, but
Does your phone have an aux port? Because I'm with Torii down here. I miss them too. Does it have everything except that? Is it one of those
uh,
phones?
yeah, no, it doesn't have one of those, but I do have like a little USB-C to headphone jack adapter, so you can like plug it into the charging port if you want to. But
Yeah.
I mean, I have the Bluetooth headset anyway,
Hmm.
so
Hmm. Yeah,
um,
I have one of those for the soundboard, and honestly, I don't know where it is. I haven't been able to connect the soundboard to my phone in forever, which makes me sad because I would like to connect it for our show so I can ping you with a couple sounds here and there.
I
Um,
am not gonna lie, I miss the sounds.
I miss the sounds too, and let me tell you what, I need to update them. Honestly, now that we've had between this and Twitter 100 or so episodes behind us, we have got some. I have notes scattered everywhere of ideas for sound clippings. That's where they go to die. Is my desk.
Dude, there's so many. There's so many.
There's so many. I could have a whole show with us. I really what I need to do is get Michael on it. AI Michael. I bet he
Yeah.
could help with it.
Now, Daniel, this is a very special soundboard. I don't know if Studio can help
Oh
us
my
with
god.
this particular soundboard.
Daniel doesn't know about the soundboard. Oh no,
Daniel,
I
you
had
have to record the soundboard.
one day. I before we started doing the show on Twitter, to handle Twitter Spaces better. I had been thinking about doing this anyway for the podcast and cobbled together some savings. Found a great used soundboard that can record MIDI sounds and also sounds from the mic. And I just took a ton of Alex's TikToks where I knew he said iconic Alex things and ported
Iconic.
them into the
Strong word.
soundboard. Uh, I've got Hey Man, and I've got My Dad Could Beat Up Your Dad, and I've got Not Ideal, and I've got I Will Absolutely Die on That Hill. I could have a whole conversation with the Alex that lives
He
in my
has.
soundboard.
He has had whole
I have, in
conversation.
fact. Yeah,
More
that was
than
my favorite part of the show was doing a song on the way out, and then not that I don't like talking to you, man, but then just having soundboard Alex make commentary, and
dude, more than once, Evan was like playing the outro music and making soundboard me talk over the song, and Mac would text me and be like, "Hey, dumbass, the song is playing. Shut up or mute your mic." I'm like, "I'm not even in there, dude."
that's so great to me. That just makes my whole life. And Dave asked about Bill, man, soundboard Bill. The hard thing about TikTok is they want you to have so many followers before you can come up. And
Yep.
when you come up, unlike Twitter Spaces, TikTok does not have an in-app native soundboard, which is tremendously sad.
Such a
Tremendously
myth.
sad. If TikTok wanted to do just one more thing to become my preferred app of choice, honestly, there's a lot of them. But
I think it would be cool also if TikTok did this thing where the videos that you post get shown to your followers.
oh my God, wouldn't that be amazing?
Can you imagine, just for a second, just picture it, the utopian future where followers see our videos?
Now,
I do have a lot of sound bites, and it's one of the reasons that I realize I can no longer have a career in politics because I know that out there, Evan would be able to sell my sound bites to the opposition for a pretty penny.
man, I wouldn't just sell them. I would show up and say, listen, man, the only way you can get these sound bites is if you let me come with the soundboard. And the moment you thought it was your undoing, I would drop a sick beat or something, burp,
Yeah.
burp, 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 burp. Hey man, whatever. People would love it.
Never
Yeah.
owned an iPhone. Yeah, I've only ever owned one, and I haven't had an iPhone since the 6S. I got a 6S, and I really liked it. But then after a few years with that, I was ready to go back to Android, and I never looked back.
Never look
It's
back.
Samsung is
Um,
just better in every way, and I will absolutely die on that hill.
well, you heard it there. Listen, folks, today is Thursday. It's NFT week, but it's Thursday, which means that Alex and I have decided in this expanded format that Thursday is really our day to just let loose and have a little fun. So if we go off theme from crypto a little bit, you got to pardon us. We are buddies after all. Um, and you are our friends too. So this is a great day. We were talking about it yesterday. I know, Angel, you suggested a project Stronghold. We're going to give the final clue for the POAP. We can give some of our predictions for future projects, and of course, something we really want to do is we'd love to have more conversations with our friends here. Daniel, I know you're in the audience. If you want to come up and give a comment on anything and everything, we certainly would welcome it. And anybody else who has the requisite followers, that's one of our peeps. Um, if you're a stranger to the show and you want to come on, that's awesome. And what I would ask you to do is go to the Discord, discord.gg/the many. We could jump on a voice call sometime. We just want to get to know people first, because we have had folks troll our audience in uh, some pretty triggering ways that were hard to recover from, and enough to
Yeah,
teach us a good lesson. So don't say never. Just come hang out in the Discord, discord.gg/the many. We'll get to know you. Could I learn everything about crypto and nothing about NFTs, or are they synonymous? Yes,
that
is
is an
the answer.
interesting question.
But
Yeah,
you want to unpack it?
I would agree with Evan. Yes, is the answer. um, sort of. I'm trying to think of another just world class analogy here.
Me too. Let's
They
run through
are,
it.
yeah. I'm going to cheat. They are essentially, two different end goals of the same journey. If you understand, why an NFT matters, or what about it is the important thing, or at its base layer, how does it function? You will understand the same things about crypto. However, they don't do the same thing. They are not like we are not securing them using blockchain technology for the same reason. Ultimately,
Yeah.
I would say that I might even go so far, and Evan, I'm curious to hear if you agree or not. I would even go so far, I think, to say that all NFTs are crypto, but not all crypto are NFTs. Obviously, I'm wondering about the first half of that. Like that, would you call every NFT a crypto of sorts? Because I think
Yes, I would say what I would say is this in terms of like nomenclature. Um, our movement has evolved really fast. Older heads, people who've been around since like the pre-computing era or whatever, they would be really mad at us for calling it crypto, because the reason we
yeah,
call it crypto is because of cryptography, which is very different than cryptocurrency, though
yeah.
cryptocurrency and NFTs rely on encryption technology. Um,
But you and I
most
both know that the nature of language and
Yes,
terminology shifts and
absolutely.
evolves, and the
I
term has
I
been
think
co-opted.
totally. And so that's why I say that, though, is to set up that distinction that the nature of language is that most people who talk about crypto are casting an umbrella over the entire blockchain space.
Yeah,
I feel like when I'm at my best, I use the word blockchain, meaning best, meaning most helpful. I think it's probably the most helpful word.
yeah,
Blockchain is kind of the umbrella, and honestly, if you wanted to get technical, you would even say something. You would say distributed ledger technology, but forget it. Blockchain. That's the umbrella I'm dying with. Crypto and NFTs, they're like leaves and roots. They're both parts of the tree. They work together to build a system, and they're like Lego bricks. You can use different types of NFTs, different shapes, different colors, if you will, to build whatever you want to create. What's fundamental is understanding the abilities and limitations of each. And if it seems too technical, honestly, I get it. We get it.
yeah.
Alex and I are kind of nerdy about this stuff. You don't need to understand this at our nerd passion level to start using it, to benefit from it, and also, in the future, it's going to be so much easier. What do you always say, Alex? It's like the car, right? You know?
Yeah. You mean the car grocery store thing?
I mean, the car grocery store thing. That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
Yeah. Sorry, I was reading Dave's comment. So real quick, Dave, my impression of it is that it is, but in your scenario about an admin getting hacked, I
Let's dive
genuinely
into it in
don't.
a second. Let's deep dive it for Dave after this.
Yeah. But no, yeah. I mean, it's like Evan just alluded to. I always say that you don't need to be an auto mechanic to drive your car to the grocery store. And at the future of blockchain tech, or what we all colloquially refer to as Web3, that we are marching towards eventually. When the industry gets to a place of maturity, it's the same thing. Same thing applies. Right now there is a feeling that you really need to be a software engineer or a developer or whatever, have a degree in computer science to understand and use this stuff. And for a lot of it, unfortunately, you kind of do. But there are strides being taken to rectify that, because that's not practical for anybody, including software developers, I would argue. It's just a pain in the ass.
And it's funny to me because it's all about the view. You said that like NFTs is like sticking a hot poker in your eye. I actually,
Vivid imagery.
I tended to be more excited about non-fungible tokens as I started to learn about what they could do. Not that crypto isn't exciting and can be, just as cool. I feel like cryptocurrencies, to me, are less I won't say less flexible. They're not less flexible, but my mind is just, it's interesting. It's interesting what people gravitate towards. I love the provably unique aspect of, a set of non-fungible tokens. I love that we can use them to express things like identity, which maybe we can get into a little bit later today to talk a little about, some of the things that we love NFTs for beyond what they're doing right now. But I'm looking this up for Dave because I honestly don't know what Warpcaster's tech stack is. I know that they have the option. You sign up, you get a custodial wallet, and you can back it up to your own wallet, like take custody of stuff. I don't believe that they ever necessarily connect. I think they send you transactions for stuff to approve this or that thing. But I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, Dave, another good way to look at that would just be to walk through the connection process on a burner wallet and just see how far it requires you take it. So for anyone, like what Evan's doing right now, trying to dig into the documentation of the protocol and see what they say about X, Y, and Z, in lieu of doing that obnoxiously grueling task that we don't all have time for. You just connect a dummy wallet and see if it requests specific permissions from you that you would be uncomfortable granting on a wallet that actually matters to you. That's typically what I do if I'm trying to test out something and I don't feel like I want to spend the time to ask people questions and go digging and read and try to get GPT to diagnose a bunch of code for me and all that nonsense, right? Just connect something and see if it asks for the ability to send and receive transactions for you or something like that. And if at any point, just like a new phone app where you're like, no, I don't want this thing to know my precise location and be able to connect to nearby devices at all time. I forget what, in setting up this new phone, I had that yesterday and I had a couple apps that were, being switched over from the old one to this one. And it had me reassess permissions. And I'm just like, dude, why on earth? I wish I could remember what it was, because it was just ridiculous. It was like a metronome or tuner app. And it was request permission to connect to nearby devices, access photos and videos and call logs and precise location. I'm like, absolutely not. Why on earth does this? I need you to go beep, beep, beep at the tempo that I set and leave me alone. That's what I need to do.
Don't accept stuff.
Maybe Daniel would be a good one to ask about that. Just it's probably just as nefarious as I would imagine. Like what prompts an app developer to bake those kinds of required permissions, and knowing that most people will probably just say like, yeah, whatever, sure, accept all, is just the ability to harvest and farm more data from you that they can sell for a pretty penny to lots of different people, which is exactly why Web3 matters. Because if you are the data farm and some people are making a tremendous amount of money off of just the fact that you exist and use digital stuff on the internet, um, you should get paid too.
So this is what I'm seeing, and if anybody wants to learn about this, they can go to docs.farcaster.xyz. Warpcast is a new decentralized social media. It is built on top of the Farcaster platform, which allows people to, pair smart contracts, the crypto stuff, with anything they want to do online. And in this case, they've made a Twitter clone. Now, what I'm seeing here, and there's plenty, and it's not that terribly unuser friendly, is the accounts you create, they are custodial, that you can back anything up yourself and manage what you back up yourself to an Ethereum wallet. When you sign up for the platform, you pay a small fee, which covers the gas that you will use presumably over your lifetime, which proves you're not a bot. It's like a one-time thing. I don't know what they do about gas if you are backing your account up, and I don't know what you can choose to send to your account. Farcaster, the way they do it, they create an account for you, and then they assign new keys to each app that you use on Farcaster. And I think that's so that they, as a custodian, can keep stuff straight. But again, my understanding is here you can choose, I don't know how much, to switch any of that over to a wallet you control. I would say things to be aware of course, are check links and revoke access. Don't just disconnect, but revoke access to sites that you are, approving to access your when you're transacting with them is done. In the future, if more places come on chain, it's going to make sense for you to have, a base foundational cold account with your precious assets that never touches the internet. You probably want one designated wallet that is hot, that connects with other hot wallets and with your precious cold wallet, but doesn't go onto websites to connect with them. And then I would get a third wallet, like at least 3 wallets for the future, unless they come up with a better solution, which is your hot wallet. This is the wallet you sign into everything all the time. You're just having fun. You're out there wild with it. This is sowing its oats wallet.
Just raw dog and Web3 with that
Just raw dog and Web3 wallet. And when you connect to a protocol, there's nothing in it. Or maybe you have another one of these that's like, I have what I call my social wallet. It's my equivalent of that. I send stuff from that wallet that connects to everything to, my second wallet, and then from that wallet to my hardware wallet, so that there is never a risk that my hardware wallet will approve a malicious transaction, or the risk is significantly mitigated by the layering. A lot of people recommend this kind of tiered setup. I feel like there are others. There's more you could do. I feel like that's the easiest kind of thing.
You could also do the Lisa strategy, which is to have 19,000 different wallets.
Yeah. Even you'll forget about it.
Somehow that woman keeps track of all of those wallets. I do not know how she does it.
Yeah. Dave brought up a good point, and I saw you responded to it in the comments. As a way to answer some of this question, like what's different about NFTs and crypto, maybe we can touch on the Show 'em platform and some of these social platforms and what they mean to do. And really quick before we do, let me just say, it's all about the view. If you would let us know if there's something specific that you're getting hung up on. I saw you were asking about patents. NFTs can prove ownership of any asset they are attached to, and they can be attached to or made to represent any asset, digital or physical, from my glasses to my TikTok account to a follower who joins my account. Any kind of thing you can give a form to. And I feel like that's a natural segue to Show them and some of the benefits of NFTs. You want to pitch it real quick, Alex?
I want to add real quick to the patent thing, because I think that was a good question. There could be a more complex way to do this. However, something like the patent office is like theoretically incredibly simple. So you could even keep that whole thing because that's a centralized authority, right? The patent department or whatever the department or office or agency or whatever they're called. Essentially, nothing about the process would really change, just like what you receive would change. So Evan has a patent form that he's filed, he's applying for. It's approved. Instead of just being awarded the patent and being credited with it, he is awarded the patent and credited with it. It goes into the database and anybody can look it up, all that kind of good stuff. However, Evan also receives a token from the official, US Patent Office collection or whatever. It's got a very specific ID, just like any NFT collection would. You can mint these things in perpetuity just based on how you write the smart contracts. Just keep going. Really interesting side note there on UPS, which I'll come back to.
Okay.
But then that token goes out and whoever holds the token holds the patent. Or it's just an added layer of security. It secures it in a new way in case the patent office loses records or something happens to their storage center or whatever. It's just another layer of protection. I think that's one of the things that's a little bit misconceived is that we don't really need to change the process or the results or really much of anything except just the layer of security. This is like a security upgrade to pretty much.
And also kind of a freedom upgrade too, right? Because now you don't got to call the patent office and say, hey, give this to my son when I die. You just do it.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I also will immediately say and understand that not everyone is into that sort of self-custody and whatever stuff. I get it. I like that idea. That idea is attractive to me, but it's also a little daunting. And I'm not going to lie. Every time I make a new seed phrase, I have a process now to store and catalog my seed phrases, but it's still a little oh boy, here's another one.
Can I add one more thing that it could do too is because it's subject to a smart contract. There could be a smart contract on a financial protocol somewhere. The smart contract, remember, is the piece of code that tells the tokens what to do, that no user can sort of commandeer and take over, right? No bad actor, no politician, no elected official can say, I've changed my mind. The code is the code. That's what happens. You can do what it specifies. Imagine now if there was a code that said, you own this NFT. You could take it, if it was a patent, to a marketplace and say, just kind of like the people did with that farm that they tokenized, you could say, okay, here's my patent. It's mine. You can't take it from me. The smart contract says I am the owner, but I'm going to park it here for a while. And I would like to use it as collateral for a house. It's the patent for toothbrushes. Can you write me a check? And absolutely they will. But I can't do that with my patent right now. My piece of paper patent. I mean, maybe I could, but I have to jump through a lot of hoops. Giving them that kind of tangible form and giving them a piece of code that governs them makes it safe for me to lend it out without risk of losing it. And also gives somebody else the kind of guarantee that, they could write up a contract that says if you default, it's mine. They don't have to trust that I'll fork it over to them, that kind of thing. I don't have to trust they won't take advantage of me. The code ensures that what is said to happen will happen. It's a commitment.
Yeah. No, that's at the crux of all of this is the idea that instead of being governed by a human being who is much more easily corrupted or swayed or taken out of commission. I mean, we've said all the time, if the guy with access to the whatever gets hit by a bus, you're just kind of SOL. In the world of smart contracts, you can alleviate some of that stress and danger. There was one more. I want to do Tim's question because I really like it, and it's super real. Oh, that's what I was going to say. In this same vein, a buddy of mine who is a software engineer for. Actually, don't know which one he works for at this point. It's been a little while since we've talked, but he worked for UPS at one point, and he was in charge of designing their route planning software algorithm to determine what the most fuel efficient and time efficient routes for drivers to take based on the locations that they need to stop are. So he wrote the software that mapped out the route the drivers were going to take. And he's the one who taught me what blockchain is and how to do it. And on the phone with me, he built a blockchain in 20, 30 minutes, a little shitty one. But whipped one up real quick to kind of demonstrate how it worked and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. And Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. I was
And
going to add another point, but you got it.
and I asked him, I was like, as a software engineer, do you see any application of this kind of technology in your world, in the world of UPS? And he was like, oh yeah, absolutely. We've actually been talking about it and working on it. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. It would be a matter of practicality, but they were not interested in blockchain at all for cryptocurrency or trading shitcoins or like making the UPS token that everyone gets to trade and shill and pay to influencers or whatever. It was literally just the capacity of blockchain to be an immutable ledger that was incorruptible in order to generate new tracking numbers, because they need like an infinite number of tracking numbers. And they could write an algorithm and a piece of software that would then encode new tracking numbers into their own private little corporate blockchain. It wouldn't be open for anyone. It would just be like for them to use, just to keep track of tracking numbers that they have used before and would not want to repeat. And just to use a blockchain to be absolutely certain that they weren't repeating tracking numbers. And that was it. And he was like, for that, it's brilliant. And I was like, yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Tim asked the question, can people use NFTs for money laundering? And the short answer is yes, absolutely. It has happened before. There's a practice in crypto called wash trading. And there are essentially two reasons that people wash trade. One is to take advantage of a tax benefit loophole that has not yet been plugged for crypto and digital assets, which is that you can secure a capital loss on a down investment by buying and selling it to yourself for a loss. So if Evan buys a CryptoPunk for 50 ETH, and now it's estimated to be worth 100 ETH, and Evan is like, shit, I don't want to pay capital gains taxes on 50 ETH. So what I need to do is lose 50 ETH. All of a sudden, he could list that NFT and sell it to himself in a different wallet for 1 ETH and write off a 49 ETH loss on a bad trade. That's a wash trade. So he's locking in a loss that can be tax harvested. We've seen also collections and projects inflate their own volume by repeatedly trading the same shit back and forth to themselves for increased amounts to make it look to an outsider like there's a tremendous amount of trading volume. So collection that's not doing well, straight up, our floor price is down along with most of it. It's down. Evan and I could start just selling these things to each other. We could make new wallets every day. We could have 40 or 50 different wallets and just sell these things to each other for the same 10 e-gold back and forth. But it would look like there was all of a sudden, 500 new sales of 10 e-gold. Interestingly, no, it's not illegal at all. And that's kind of, it really depends what you're doing.
I think selling it to yourself is sometimes illegal if they know it's you.
It depends. Like there's a few, you can transfer things to yourself,
right?
Using an NFT as the intermediary to go back and forth in between. Like I don't know of any. I would love to talk to someone who knows better than I do. And I could ask our lawyer for some specifics on this, and we could come back with it next week. But I don't personally know of any laws against buying and selling stuff to yourself. There are, of course, laws to deal with fraud. And if you're doing something with the intent to defraud investors, that is, of course, illegal. And you should absolutely get in trouble for that. The last thing I'll say, Evan, before is that, so yes, laundering money through a number of different methods using NFTs or cryptocurrency is totally possible, and people do it all the time. The thing is, though, that you have to you have no margin for error. Because what you got to remember is that all of those transactions, every single thing that you do is on that blockchain forever. And there are lots of people who are really good at sussing this stuff out. And you can't hide the records from them. They have as long as they want to sit there and stare at it. And I have personally done this multiple times to prove that NFT collections here and there were inflating their volume numbers by selling their NFTs back and forth to themselves using the same 10 or 12 wallets. It does not take long or a genius because, I mean, like I said, I'm sitting here doing it and I'm not a programmer or a developer. So it's not that complicated to just sit there and start making patterns about, okay, this wallet has bought and sold, like the equivalent of $900,000 in the last 6 months. And I know for a fact, looking at this wallet's entire history, that much crypto has not been traded into it. And also I can follow the exact eagle that it continuously is trading to wallets XYZ, ABC to get new NFTs. And that eagle always finds its way back into this wallet. And it's just this kind of circular motion. And generally the people who are doing this are not really smart enough to think all the way through what it means to have every record of every bad thing that you do recorded on a blockchain forever. So the blockchain, I always say, blockchain does not prevent you from doing bad shit with your money or being a malicious actor or doing nefarious things or, stealing or, committing fraud or doing whatever. But what it does is it takes the undeniable record of the shit you did and it puts it on an open source ledger that everyone on earth can check and look into. And that's about the dumbest way that you can commit a financial crime that I can personally think of. Because if you, the person stealing, taking, hacking, wash trading, flipping around, doing all kinds of malicious shit, ever now want to take all of the crypto that you've, skeezed and scammed and slithered your way into getting for whatever malicious means and take it to an exchange and sell it into US dollars so you can go, buy whatever. At that point, you need to KYC and attach your identity to the transaction. And the second you do that, I can follow that all the way back to its point of origin. And I can see every single thing you've ever done with that money. And now you have been connected to every illicit transaction that's ever been perpetrated. And that is why less than 1% of all crypto transactions are malicious and nefarious, because it's just really, 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 really hard to get away with it.
And the thing that I want to say is people are actively working to regulate that and get clarity on it, sometimes helpfully, sometimes not, and also circumvent it. So don't do the thing criminals do that people do for a nefarious purpose Alex is describing. Instead, if what you want to do is sell your non-fungible token for a loss to harvest it, there are all kinds of businesses that have popped up around this proposition. There are NFT pawn shops. We talked about it before.
Yeah.
Alex is clearly ready to die on that hill. And
Actively.
I saw one who, for the first time, that was like their statement on their landing page. It was like, sell your NFTs at a loss, harvest gains, or something like that. And I was like, wow, that's brilliant that they just said the quiet part out loud. Sales as low as a penny. We'll buy everything kind of deal.
To say as well on that, like personal wash trading of your own crypto is not only at this point legal and accepted, the government is very aware about it, and they have talked about at some point closing the wash trading loophole, but haven't yet. Your CPA will tell you, if they know their shit, that, hey, if you come up to the end of the fiscal year and you are in a loss on any of your stuff, let's say you bought Bitcoin at 50,000, it's now 45,000. You bought one of them, so it's gone down in value. You can wash trade that to yourself to secure that little bit of a capital loss. Basically, just sell the Bitcoin. So you bought it for 50K, sell it for 40K, immediately buy it back again for 40K. Okay, now you are in a position where you still have the exact same thing, one Bitcoin. You have spent 50K on it, so you've locked in a loss of 10. That now counts as a capital loss. You still have your one Bitcoin, and that's it. I assume that they will patch that because, like the stock market does not allow you to wash trade assets like that. You're actively prevented from buying and selling in and out of the same thing within a certain time period. I imagine that if they could do that easily with crypto, they would have. But yeah. So Timothy, what you do in that case is when you sell it, you claim the loss, you lock that in, and you change your cost basis for that asset. So like when I fill out my taxes for crypto related stuff, buying and selling, or receiving compensation in crypto or whatever, because For my the last couple times I've been paid anything, I was paid in crypto. You still have to pay income taxes on that, just like normal. Um, that's exactly right. You would lock that in and then be able to claim the loss. And at the end of the day, you still have the exact same asset, but your cost basis has changed. The downside to this is, let's say, again, same example, you bought the Bitcoin for 50K, it's now 40K. And so you sell it for 40 to lock in that 10K capital loss. Now your cost basis of acquisition for that Bitcoin is 40. So if it goes to 70K, instead of originally you would have owed capital gains on the 20K gain from the 50 to the 70, now you owe 30 from the 40 to the 70. So you do lock in the tax loss harvest, ability there, but you also increase the potential amount that you're going to need to pay capital gains on should the asset go back up again. And Crust, it is a mixture of excellent posturing, favorable lighting, and a black t-shirt, because absolutely I'm in the worst shape of my life, but thank you so much.
Getting thirsty in the comments, baby. Here we go. Alex just gave a master class on the fundamentals of crypto taxes. And honestly, when it's like tax time, we should do an episode that maybe a week for taxes. Like, we're all going to sit down and do our crypto taxes together. It does not have to be hard.
Evan, have we ever filmed a multi-hour or an hour plus long episode of, I don't know, the most underrated podcast of all time with a nationwide,
with a literal crypto tax expert,
crypto literate CPA who gave us all a breakdown on exactly things we needed to keep in mind for doing our crypto tax? If I wanted to look that up, Evan, where would I go?
Well, if I had to say, I would say you should go to faceless_labs. Just search Faceless Labs on YouTube, and what you can search up is Rise Up Faceless Labs episode 3. Episode 3 features Lorenzo, our CPA, who is a crypto guy. He lives in Miami. He knows the crypto people. He was like, "Oh, this is the thing. Let's do this." And drops a lot of great knowledge about what is simpatico, what is not. He suggests a bunch of tools, and I need to add that to the sponsor list. We should pursue a sponsorship from Coinly. That's the one that I personally use. I recommend it, but there are many others that have like freemium plans. They integrate with TurboTax. They integrate with all the APIs. Even if they don't have a widget for your wallet, you can, like, 3 steps, plug in your API key. They walk you through exactly how to do it, and you just plug in and play. It is so easy to get your crypto information compliant with the law in your tax documents. Coinly is with a K, Koinly. Okay.
Right here. There's yours truly, Sandbeard. There's Mac in his old house.
Oh, hang on.
And there's Lorenzo.
It did a.
Oh shit! It's doing. You know what? I'm just a caveman, dude. All right, there we go. So you all got to look up my nose for a second instead of at what I'm trying to show you. There's me. There's Mac. There's our CPA. And yep, Rise Up episode 3. So if you just search,
I think the long form show is called Rising Up. So
it is Rising,
but Rising Up.
Yep. Rising Up episode 3, posted a year ago.
And you can also catch episode 5 with Andrew, our lawyer, Andrew Bull, blockchain law. Excellent episode. Even though it's what is that, like a year and a half now? We recorded it. It's a lot of it is as relevant and prescient as ever.
Definitely.
We should check up with them and maybe get them on TikTok for a subsequent follow-up interview. That would be great. Again, these are on YouTube. Search Faceless Labs. The playlist is the Rising Up podcast. They're also available on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, any of your favorite podcast platforms by searching Faceless Labs. And the episodes are clearly labeled. You'll be able to hear it. You put it on 1.5 speed, and you can listen during your lunchtime like that. But yeah, we could also do a show on it. Can I real quick go back to one thing that it's all about the view asked about fractionalizing? Yes. I wanted to ask you, it's all about the view. Were you here yesterday when we talked about Cougar DAO and the farm that they bought on chain as an NFT. This is a good example of how like there are many levels at play here. The farm itself is an NFT, but it's collectively owned by a group of people who all contributed different amounts of money. Some of them are contributing labor to it. So how do they split up that ownership? Because it wouldn't necessarily be fair. And we have the technology to accurately represent the kind of stake these people are putting in. A couple of ways. First, the NFT, there are several. There is a non-fungible token that represents the deed of the property. It is held in a trust, a legal trust. That trust defers ownership to their DAO. It's a decentralized autonomous organization. And this gives this group of friends a sort of legal organizational structure. And they use tokens and other non-fungible tokens to do a couple of things. First of all, they have non-fungible tokens that specify they are members of this DAO. I think they are mostly commemorative. Sometimes they use them to sign into things on chain. Sometimes they have a crypto wallet that many of them access. It's called a multi-sig. Your crypto wallet has one key that you use to sign transactions. It's a single signature wallet. A multi-sig wallet is a wallet where many people have a key and so requires multiple signatures. You might think of this as like a congressional vote. That's like a multi-sig wallet where one person can't just go in and do everything they want all the time. They need the cooperation and coordination of other people to also sign things with their encrypted keys to approve them on the blockchain. And they have a token that represents the money they've contributed. It's a Cougar token. You can't go buy it anywhere, but it is a crypto token, not an NFT. All of them could, they're worth the same. They stand in for each other. And when the DAO is open for people to contribute money, they can get back for their money Cougar tokens. Got to have the NFT to even participate. Once they're in, if I give $1 and you give $10,000, I get one Cougar token and you get 10,000 of them. I don't know what it's actually worth. But they use these Cougar tokens on their online platform from all over the world to propose, to vote on, to ratify decisions about the land. If they want to sell their Cougar tokens and withdraw from ownership of the land, they can do that. So it's a couple of things. The deed is a non-fungible token, but it is fractionalized. The ownership of it is distributed to people with the use of Cougar tokens by Cougar DAO, a legal organization that holds the deed in a trust. There are some users that have more power than others, but nobody can sort of co-opt the votes, co-opt the pool of money without having more than the DAO members decided is possible to get. You can't withdraw money that you're not entitled to. You can't run away with the deed. Remember, there are multiple people who need to sign off on things. And while it's possible that everyone in the network could collude together to rip off just one person, I don't think it's particularly likely. And I want...
Rip.
I'm sorry to say, rip? What'd I rip?
Oh, no, I love it.
Yeah. But
You're back now.
fractionalizing real estate is a huge, huge use case for NFTs. Oh.
It's that
They
time.
want to leave in their over, they can sell their stuff. Who said it's that time? What's happening?
No, it's that time that me and you... Oh my God, yes. Can you... I said it's that time when you and I get... One of us lags for 3 seconds and gets out of sync, and now we have to get back.
Can you hear me now? Exactly.
I can.
I do it when I... Is this what being old feels like? Like everything's on a 3-second lag?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, fractionalizing NFTs. If you want to learn about this, especially regarding real estate, I would look up Cougar, like the cat, Cougar.
Can we get that again?
Oh. He's got like a thing in his throat, but that's my Cougar. Cougar DAO. They're doing it. Lots of people are doing it. POAP, PROPY is another one that is, you can use your Bitcoin to buy a house. It's collateral. But I think they're also working on some kind of like REIT-esque fund, the real estate investment trust that people can own fractions of. That's essentially what Cougar DAO is doing, but they're doing it on the blockchain. Man, I'm missing all the comments. Everybody's chatty today.
The cat, not the lady. Yes, I think that's intentional branding to acquire traffic for decentralized people interested in older women as well.
Well, no, probably, but they wanted to initially buy Cougar Island. It was just too expensive, and they just didn't want to change the name because they already have the logo, I guess. These are the people who also were from, a lot of them were from a DAO called Tater DAO, which is about agriculture, and Lex DAO, which I don't understand the name, but I'm pretty sure they're referencing Lex Luthor. And they're a bunch of lawyers. I don't know why. I don't think they're evil. So, it's just crypto people doing whatever they want to do.
I every couple of years I get into the mood, where I rewatch every single superhero movie that's ever been made, including the bad ones. And also I haven't seen it, but I'm disappointed to hear the reviews of Madam Web being what they are.
There's a movie called Madam Web. I don't know about it.
It's another, it's a comic book movie in the Spider-Man universe. Sydney Sweeney, Dakota Johnson. Anyway, it was definitely hyped up, and right now the reviews are universally abysmal. And that's a big bummer. But I brought this up for a reason. I'll remember the reason eventually, and then we'll come back to it. Because I cannot remember.
Well, then while you do that, let me buy you some time and tell you that our POAP for this week is now live, ladies and gentlemen. The POAP is live. If you've collected all 3 secret words, I'm not even going to give you a 4th secret word. I'm going to tell you what they are because I love you that much. If you are listening now, you can go to the Bot Hub channel of our Discord at discord.gg/themany and claim this awesome POAP artwork. This piece of art attached to an NFT that is provably unique, that shows you were here in attendance this week, designed by none other than our good friend Alex. The secret word for yesterday was goblin. The secret word for the day before was drink. And the secret word for Monday was double. Put them all together. All lowercase, no spaces, and you get the secret phrase that you can enter at the Bot Hub in our Discord. One more time. Double, drink, goblin. The second day's word was almost fisting because he's holding 2 drinks. And I just realized that out of context, that was probably a bad idea. Although it would have made a great soundboard clip to say, the secret word is
the secret word is
double drink goblin. That is your secret phrase. Use it now, and you can claim a POAP in the Bot Hub channel of our Discord at discord.gg/themany. If you missed it, don't worry. This will be on YouTube later. The POAPs will be available to claim. You're going to get your own link. You can take that link, paste it right into your web browser, or use the code at the end of the link in your POAP app. If you're like me and Dave and you got the thing set up to go to your wallet, that's all you need to do.
All right. I can actually do this now because now I have 2 phones in front of me.
Oh my God.
So bear with me. Wait, can you mirror your camera in this? Can you? No, yeah. Is there a way that you can flip it?
Yeah, mirror your video. You're going to go to the 3 dots, and then it should pop right up. Mirror your video. In fact, mine is already mirrored.
Well, I love that I don't have that option.
You don't have 3 dots?
I mean, I do have 3 dots, but there's no mirror.
So what do you see?
Report, feedback, promote, background player settings, moderator settings.
No.
Share to.
This is wild. Okay, so at the bottom of your screen, going left to right, plus guests, show. No. Okay, what I'm seeing is in a cluster, it says more. Under the 3 dots, it says more. It's a.
Yeah. I'm looking at that. There's no mirror. Whatever. You know what? We ball. Yeah. Okay. Bear with me. This is the Discord. As you can see, even though it says it's backwards, this is the Bot Hub channel. Scroll all the way up to the top of the Bot Hub. There's all these buttons right here. This gray button, the very last one, says POAP.
Dude, you got to hold it closer to my face. That is so small. It's the smallest thing I've ever seen in my life.
People always rag on me because my text on my phones is teeny, 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 tiny. Okay.
Are you a spider or something?
Hit the POAP button, and it will give you this little text box. So now I'm going to write double fisting goblin.
No, double drink goblin.
I know. I'm just wishful thinking.
Yeah, this is great. A live claim.
Type it just like that. Double drink goblin, all lowercase, no spaces. Okay. Hit submit. It's going to load me down to the bottom and give you this. There's a link right there. Crust, I see you. Crust coming at you live from the Discord and from the chat. There's a link. Anyway, there's a link in there. The blue hyperlink text says, "Click here to claim your POAP." Tap the link. Yes, I actually want to claim it. It's going to take me right to POAP. It's going to load forever. And there we go. Well, it's still working on it, but there it is.
Heck yeah, man. There it is, baby.
And just mint now to the wallet.
Someone asked in the comments if we are brothers, and I would say brothers from another mother.
Yes.
You know, the brother of my heart, for sure.
Absolutely.
And if you like that, if you hate it, if you got something to say about it, leave it in the comments. The most helpful thing you can do for our show is to tap the screen. It's totally free. I see you, Torii, dropping the likes. Thank you kindly. You can share it with a friend. We are here to tell a better story than the hype cycle news, than the pick this token, this is going to make you a bajillionaire, buy what I'm selling you narrative that is everywhere in crypto, on TikTok, and a lot of other places too. What's it say? Why is he hitting him with a hammer?
It's loading. It's minting.
That's
boom.
Cute. There you go.
Woohoo.
Real time. Now it's an on-chain asset. Yes, Linda, you can do that just on the POAP app. What you're going to do is you'll go to, I can't show you because my phone's doing it, but there's a little plus button from the home page of the app. Is Alex going to show you? Great. Give me some visual aids, man. After you claim the link in Discord, you'll take the 6 letters at the end. The link is POAP XYZ/claim/6 codes. Tap the plus, and you'll choose the option. Is it code? What's the phrase of it?
There's scan NFC, secret word, scan QR, and enter code.
Enter code is what you're going to choose. And you are going to take the last 6 letters or numbers from your link, like, 1, 2, 3, ABC, and type them in right there. And you're going to hit mint that way.
Yep.
Alex, I have an update. You are number 2, Dave says. I would bet all of my tokens that Dave minted the first POAP. Dave has got the fastest finger on the POAP. He might have the most valuable POAP collection on the market.
I would like to say, Dave, you got that one because I was busy teaching.
Oh my God. Dave, I am going to be performing at a party later today for a Cisco sales team. It made me think of you. They rented out the restaurant where I'm performing tonight. And I kind of want to see if they're hip to POAPs. I'm going to have to ask them.
Can we take just a quick trip down memory lane of all of our POAPs?
We got some POAPs, right?
From the show. So, like, for those of you who want to know how long we've been doing this, here's back to February of 2022. That's the first POAP that we did as a project. Then there was December from 2022. We had, dude, these are great. The make it big. There's my ghoul. Or there's the ghoul, rather. The original ghoul.
Man, you can't have the main ghoul.
No, I can't have the main ghoul. But then there were these alternate arts for the show that Kaio did. There's the cyborg. Oh, I like this one too. Well, I like all of them. There's the kid. That was a great one.
Now, hey, while you're flipping through your collection memory lane, your mom has a question, Linda. You enter the secret word, which is double drink goblin, in the Bot Hub channel of the Discord. if you want to claim it from the POAP app, you must do that step first because you're going to need the code POAP gives you. Our secret word is just a way to distribute their links. You can mint a POAP with the secret word, but don't get hung up on that. On POAP's app, it's going to be called code. Redeem a code from that menu that Alex showed you. I think it's the bottom option. And it'll have 6 slots for characters that you will get from the end of your link at the bot hub. It's a multi-step process. And the reason we do it is because POAP, there are people who will farm POAPs. They will, look for drops and just try to claim all your POAPs. If you mint with a secret word on POAP's interface, we could do like we're doing here, Double Drink Goblin in the POAP app, but they only let you open that for like 15 minutes. And because we have people who want to watch the show later, maybe come on YouTube or whatever, we want them to be able to claim a mint link too if they listen. And now we can just keep it open forever, more or less, until they're all claimed. There are only 20. There are only 20 POAPs, and 3 have been claimed. And to be fair, these don't get you anything except a proof of presence. They get you experience working with this technology. And as Alex and I continue on, down our blockchain journey as Faceless Labs, as Show 'em, as Glass for Breakfast, you can believe that we will think of some fun, cute, creative way to just do something cool for the POAP people. POAP is a great community of builders. They're always adding stuff. I don't think they're going anywhere. So, for now, we're collecting bottle caps, but we might do something fun with them in a minute.
So, Jim, they don't, not necessarily. I guess it depends what you withdraw to. They self-custody the thing in there so you can use it, semi-anonymously, I guess. And then if you want to withdraw it, you would withdraw it to whatever.
You can also set up when you create your account so that they go to a wallet you custody. I do that option. I don't usually click links and claim because that goes to, I do have a POAP custody wallet, but you can set it up. I don't remember how. They have great documents though. Alex, you shrank.
Huh?
You just got small, so I was commenting on it. I noticed that. Oh, is it Phoebe? Hey, girl. She got a little pillow. What you doing, baby?
She's wearing her safety donut to prevent her from scratching her ear worse than she did yesterday. We went in to check on her, and dude, just blood everywhere.
Oh.
She, of course, had an itch on her ear and scratched it for 2 seconds and sliced it open. So,
you know what my favorite part about Phoebe is that I didn't get to appreciate until I met her in person, aside from how soft she is her saggy elbows. I really like her saggy elbows.
Yeah, we got to wait for her to stop growing officially. And then she'll go in for a nice elbow lift to get that skin fixed and removed because I bet
it's a hazard now.
I live in fear every day that another dog's nail is just going to catch it.
Christina says, tell them her nickname.
Her nickname is Elbow Baggins.
Oh my god. Elbow Baggins. Oh my god. That's perfect. Now we need a TikTok video of her with the caption Elbow Baggins and the little flute music.
I always picture the scene where Pippin is drinking his, it comes in pints. I'm getting one. Yeah. He goes up to the bar and then all of a sudden he just yells out Frodo Baggins. So every time you walk in the room with Phoebe, someone has to go Elbow Baggins. And it's getting excessive.
We've got ArtwithHeart in the comments, who offered to talk us through. I saw you guys were talking back and forth, and we've known ArtwithHeart for a minute. If you have the time, I'd be glad. Is ArtwithHeart working on a project? Did I miss it? It was unclear to me.
Sounds like something dope.
ArtwithHeart, if you want to request, I think it'd be fine to, come on up here and talk through what you're doing. And of course, if any of our folks have a place to sit and talk and want to do it, Torii, if you're walking and talking, you got a question you want to join that way, We are working on trying to figure out a good panel. Leave that below too. If there's somebody on TikTok, crypto TikTok specifically, but could be legal TikTok, could be whatever, that you would like to hear from in our show. We were talking about it the other day. Who do we want? Alex and I have a list, but surely there are people you respect and admire who are doing things, and we'd love to have them on. Art with Heart, thanks so much for hanging out with us, and welcome to the Rise Up Morning Show. How you doing?
I'm doing well, guys. How are you?
Doing very well. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, my pleasure. Always a joy to come into you guys' show. You guys always have interesting conversation. Like I said, I would love a podcast on legal entity contracts with real estate law, because there's a lot of people in a lot of countries that are looking forward to that right now. And people, who have built up some bags through different times, and they want to invest it into, taking the next step towards real estate. So I know I would personally love to listen to that one.
Okay. Thanks for the suggestion. What are you working on? You got
Cool.
a project cooking?
Yeah, so I've been business dev on Dracadis's team for the last year or so. Been involved with him for 2 years, and through the game design, we've been designing an L2 cache system. So basically, it takes out the times that of a minute and a half, 3 minute block time to save, and brought it down to 30 milliseconds. So through that, again, like building the platform and stuff, we've been trying to, again, fix those real-time issues. And like you guys have brought up in conversation, not everything needs to be saved to the blockchain. The blockchain is all about proving ownership of assets. So you don't have to waste all this block space, and you don't have to cause all this traffic and gas charges. That's not necessarily effective way of using the blockchain, right? So we took a concept that we were building for the game, which was so players would be able to have real-time battles, and there wouldn't be any vulnerabilities of somebody cheating the system with lag and stuff like that. And so that's what we designed this L2 cache system for. And we took the communications part of it, and we launched a decentralized communication protocol over on Pulse Chain with a community that was begging for it. They're like, we'll fund you, just get this inside of our tech. So this is an actual interactive NFT directly inside the marketplace where the JPEG would normally be. So the project right now, again, because of the partnership with the community we partners, they're called the Tang Gang on Pulse. So we made Tang Wireless. So Tang Wireless is at this form right now, a party chat. So anybody owning a token inside of that contract is able to talk to each other in multiple rooms. So I don't know if you guys know what Jitsi is. It's like an alternative to Zoom, the decentralized version of it. But you're able to set up room names. You could just put a random string of numbers and characters into it, and you can create a room. And so anybody can enter that room at any time. It's kind of like an open forum, like this is, multi-guest chat, and you can set permissions and stuff like that to it. So we're doing this through the contract. So all the contract is proof of ownership that you can access this app. So it's connecting Web 2 features, displaying it inside of the marketplaces so that you can go directly to it. Unless you have one of the contracts, you're not able to talk in that room. We've upgraded it from a basic pager system 3 weeks ago to a full iOS Android feel. So when you're opening it, it actually feels like a modern day cell phone. And right now we're working on, again, creating that contact list to be able to have token to token conversations within it. So you can go and have a phone number, and so one token can call another token, can do voice chat, pictures, and we're working on WebRTC as well. Hoping to have all this done we just get invited to do a contest at Pitch Fest in Vegas, March 8th. So we're going to be going there and doing, our pitch on basically what it is. But basically this L2 cache system, what's cool about it is it's chain agnostic. So you're able to have multi-chains all talking to each other through this L2 chain. So it's like a bridge. And that's how we're going to be launching the communication cross cross token. So we're going to be launching on Chia in the next 2 weeks as the proof of concept, showing chain agnostic communications, and again then building out the features further past that. We just incorporated, we just got patents on it, trademark, everything. Again, making sure we did this legal. We did about 300,000 in sales in the last 3 weeks. On our first chain of 2,000, we still have about 300 left for general market to pick up left. But yeah, man, it's rolling out quick, and we're really excited to, and hopefully creating that like bridge between maximalist mentalities that have really, dug inside of this bear market.
Wow.
That's badass.
I've got to say, the single reaction that I have of all the stuff that you gave us, congratulations on the opportunity to pitch. Congratulations on a great project. But most of all, congratulations for building something with utility on Pulse Chain.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably the first time I've ever heard somebody say Pulse Chain, and I've gone, that sounds great. Wow.
I'm not, and I was like, ooh, you don't want to touch that. It's like the gum sitting on the sidewalk, just thinking of like what it is. Cause like NFTs are very new to Pulse Chain. And again, we've kind of stayed out of the way of it. We're like very tech people, like interested, high level conversation, like builders. So that's why we've been operating inside the Chia space, because that's really kind of like who's in there. And so this community is between both chains. So like a lot of people like from Chia went and started this group in Pulse Chain because it's cheap, it's fractionalized, cents to be able to launch stuff and gas and stuff like that. And so there was a VC that was trying to like offer us money, but we did a 2-month contract for this guy creating a decentralized censorship resistant social media platform. And then we got rugged about 35,000 in contract pricing. Very well spoken, 20,000 people inside of his spaces at a time, mostly bots. But that's basically, we got in contact with his community. They got rugged 400 grand, to build this app for them. This is the second like group of devs that have come and built something for them and never got paid for it because the guy went and just spent the money and whatever. So there was another one of his friends that wanted us to like launch this with Bored Apes because he was one of the biggest holders of Bored Apes, and we're like, no, we're like our buddies in this group, and they're promising us that we're gonna make $10,000 in sales this first night, and we're gonna give it a shot for them. And they stood to their word, man. I was shocked by it. There's so many people that are just talk. We're gonna support you. We're gonna come out full force, and we'll get this funded so we can get this protocol on the road because it needs to be out there basically. And they're men of their words. Like they're a true like decentralized marketing like platform. They're like a DAO of marketers. Like they're all like, hey, we're going to come in here. They have what's called the patronage model, which is again, pay it forward. They insisted on a 33% royalty. They have like a very strict way of, all right, 100 on the first night, 200 the second night, 50 free on Friday, and then public mint to, on Saturday. But basically like they take care of their holders, like, saying like, hey, you have to have this much of this much, in order to mint the project in the first place. So it makes sure those people that have been there, those OGs, get the first opportunity to be able to get stuff inside of the ecosystem instead of fighting in line for it. Everybody who just shows up today. So yeah, I was really shocked by it, man. And it's been great. Like I said, we're right around 300,000 in sales, a little over, maybe a little under. It depends on, the market and the day, but we put 45 grand back into the community, into an LP farm, and we're splitting dividends with them and giving back. And yeah, we're ready to launch on our second chain and be able to prove, chain agnostic communications.
Man, fantastic.
Cool.
All while this is being backed up on an enterprise grade decentralized storage system, replacing IPFS.
I think, Alex, I would defer to you for further questions, except that we have a couple from the audience. The primary one is, where do we learn more? What are the documents?
You can go to, again, we haven't even written a white paper for it yet because it's been like so on the go. And the cool thing has been like, we're updating it live. So it's not like, hey, wait 3 months. Like we're pushing like 12 updates a week, like little pieces of code, little updates, little bug fixes, next feature kind of thing. But like our open, like communication on this, and again, we're working on this. We just wanted to get like all legals under like wraps first, to protect the IP and the trademarks and all things like that. But people can go check it out at tangtalkwireless.com. That's you can directly mint from there. Dracatus Dev on Twitter, DRACATTUS, Drac Us. Dev on Twitter. That's the main page we're posting from. He's the CEO. I'm the COO of the company. Same thing. ArtwithHeart NFT on Twitter. You can find me there. Ask questions. But yeah, man, it's been exciting. And the really cool thing, like I said, is instead of having like a static JPEG, you have an interactive app that displays inside the marketplace where the JPEG would normally go. You can't access it and see it unless you own one. So it's, again, private. The really cool thing that we're introducing is we're actually creating our own Tor network inside of the device. So on data layer, we have our own custom DNS that's coming. So you can do like emoji dot faceless many with a happy face, and that's your DNS, and you own that forever. So never mind unstoppable domains. It's unstoppable unless you don't pay the bill. You buy it, you own it. It's continually yours, and it's a private, decentralized Tor network that is cryptographically secured. So basically what we advertise it as, like, we're a SaaS platform. So you're buying a token which has ownership to a lifetime service contract to a decentralized communications protocol that is cryptographically secured.
Alex, do you have questions? Because I actually have two now.
Sure.
Go for it.
My first question is, how many non-fungible tokens are there that will allow people access? You mentioned you give them to the OGs, open it up for other
This
people.
will be 10,000 total. We released 2,000 on Pulse Chain, and we're going to be releasing between 1 and 2,000 per chain up to the 10,000. So
okay, what if this blows up like Clubhouse and everyone wants to be there?
Eventually, we're gonna be a white label service of this, but we promise this community as part of their project. They're the proof of concept, or really more of an MVP proof of concept. That during the Tang talks, that will be a 10,000 piece collection, and that will be the original cross-chain communications protocol. We have full IP rights to everything. So after our contract is complete with them in doing the proof of concept, launching across up to 9 chains. We're going to open white label service up, but this really is more powerful than money.
But when you say white label service, you mean like I work for Google or XYZ company and I want to get in this system? What are you doing? What are you doing to bring power users in though now? Because like I don't know that I want to go hang out with a bunch of people who are like, if I want to hang out with blockchain nerds, I'd invite them here. I'd go hang out with them on Twitter.
The cool thing is you don't have to hang out with them even if you're under contract. So like I said, inside of the room chats, if you want a party chat, it's basically like a Telegram service, but it's decentralized and can't be censored by any incoming medium. So you can go and open your own, right? And then you can have us token gate that. So only these people, where you'll have the ability, basically think of like Discord. So you'll be able to set roles and permissions of who can even come into that room, as well as
the base layer is they already bought an NFT.
Yep.
I can't say to my mom who doesn't hold one or who is customer 10,001, sorry, you got to buy one from Jack over here, who now doesn't have his and can't come hang out with me. I'm just thinking about the scalability of this thing.
So
I love that if you know nature of it, but I'm just curious.
We'll be able to tie, like we do with different chains, different networks together. So again, like we'll have a system where if we do a white label service for over here, but you want to talk to somebody on Tang Wireless number 6,826, you're still going to be able to contact that person. You just won't be able to get into their private Tor network.
And that's the other question is, Jim asked, Tor networks are inherently slow. How's the speed?
This is done on data layer, so it's not done on Web 2.
Got it.
So the only hang up I've ever had with decentralized media of any kind, social media, is the inherent tendency for a platform that's light on the whole idea of censorship being misconstrued as just helpful moderation to not turn into a
conversation we're
gambler.
going with. There's softwares like CSAM that prevent illegal and illicit materials from being uploaded, as well as there is a general clear option for all screens. So this is serverless. There's no storage. So general chat features are all done through a mesh network of memory. So it's all, like I said, an L2 cache system. So it's running through your browser, which offers, again, the best sandboxed security system that we have really out there today.
Interesting. Yeah, that's just always my first worry, that it's going to turn into 4chan.
That's been a big, thing for us. Again, so peer-to-peer makes it difficult with that, right? So again, legalities on that too is it's all based, and on the user for what it is. But yeah, why we've been trying to offer moderation sections and things like that and places and controls, yes. But in peer-to-peer communications, that's obviously one of the biggest areas of which we can improve. So we've determined as a company, like the only VCs that we want in this so that we can keep this more towards like a public benefit corporation, that we only want like VCs to put, if you want to put serious money, find a solution for peer-to-peer CSAM software, because that is not out there right now.
Brother, I do want to tell you, I know we've been talking kind of technical here. I want to give you a chance to say to anybody who's watching, who's like, oh, this is too much for me, this is too technical for me, or is this just for people who are on chain, people who are into Web3 hardcore? What would you say to everyone else? Because I hear it as something that, my mom would like, my grandma would like. People anywhere who want to talk to other people could benefit from this potentially if it scales the right way, if you build it the right way. What would you say to those people? What's your simplified TLDR pitch?
This is the best way to get a no coiner into blockchain, because it has the UI of a Web 2 application, because it is a Web 2 application. The only thing that this is, Web 3, is ownership. And that's really what we should be promoting towards Web 3 anyways, is provenance ownership. So if you want to have a place that is not on your phone to store pictures and send to friends and things like that, and not have to worry about backing it up to a cloud service, this is basically a decentralized cloud service built into a Telegram app. Again, it's going to offer video chat from one person to another, text communications, as well as other services, like I said, more of a direct DNS and gated marketplace, so that there's no external phishing links and things like that can possibly drain your wallet. So this is one of the safest ways to get into blockchain technology.
Cool. Alex, do you have any other final kind of questions?
No, I think it's cool.
I think it's cool too. I think it's awesome. Give us the links one more time, and then when is the pitch contest so we can, send you good
The pitch
karma?
contest is at Pulse Chain Pitch Fest. It is the 8th of March. We are presenting approximately at 10:50 to 11 o'clock in the morning.
And you said it's in Vegas?
Yeah, in Vegas.
Man. We were in Vegas a little while ago, all of us, and Kim was just saying, when we were in Vegas, our friend Mahir, who's from Australia, who was like, wow, about everything, was trying to see Bruno Mars and missed him. And he just opened a bar, and Kim said, we got to go. It's called the Pinky Ring. She said, we got to get the Faceless Many together and go back to Las Vegas. So warm it up for us, will you?
Awesome. We'll do, for sure.
And then what are the links one more time? You said
TangTalkWireless.com. Okay. Tang Talk, TANGTALK, wireless.com. That's where you can mint directly from. Again, in the next 2 weeks, we'll be able to mint from that site on 2 chains, no matter what. You can actually be on your Pulse Chain phone and clicking on another chain to accept the offer file into your wallet. So it's going to be really, really exciting for us. I know we're total geeks about this, but yeah, it's technical innovation, and it's pushing the boundaries on what can be done with an NFT, right? So instead of that static JPEG or static movie or, the classic thing we've been, creating, this is the next step in interoperable web apps directly displayed inside of the marketplace.
And I'm so sorry. We do have one more question I want to honor.
Sure.
Which is, you mentioned you've raised about 300,000.
Yep.
But the question was, how well funded are you so far? And I think answer that in terms of, if you're comfortable talking about it, like runway and maybe even dollars. Like we have $1 million, which will carry us a year. We have if you're comfortable.
So
whatever.
At this point, obviously, startup costs is the most expensive. We just put about 30,000 in legal fees, and that's for the first 6 months, especially with patents. They're very expensive. Over the next 18 months, it's going to cost approximately $130,000 to $150,000 US to get full patents covering this in a global market, so that we can protect the IP and the first mover's advantage, on this technology, and be able to make sure that somebody else isn't doing it and putting nefarious backdoor things into it. So that is our biggest goal. So we're doing very well with that. Just from like a developer's cost, we have taken a few $1,000s out to pay just some like immediate costs, but we've been holding that as much as possible. Market pumps have been great. I mean, we've gotten 25 grand in pumps in the last 2 days. So that kind of picked our coffers back up of what we just paid in legal fees. So that brings us back up to a comfortable number of, we have about $40,000 planned for development costs. We've hired, some other key developers that are in these enterprise level systems like Data Layer to be able to create our own private Tor network, as well as a browser. And we're trying to spend the money smartly again, and use it on professionals that are in the field. We want to help our friends and stuff, but we want to help ourselves too. But we haven't really taken that into consideration yet, because again, this is the project's money, not like, oh, we made a bag, like let's all treat ourselves out to things. We're using this and utilizing this as much as a business as possible. Like I said, we're now an international incorporation with patents and trademarks pending. So yeah, it's a good runway. We probably have, if we just left it at that, we probably have the runway for next 6 months. But we do have, again, in the next 6 months, we plan to be on at least 2 or 3 more chains. So that means continual launch. At this current projection, our company's being evaluated around 2 million. So that's our current estimated revenue over the next 12 months.
That's it's amazing, how money comes and goes in terms of you really got to protect it. You certainly don't need our advice. It sounds like you're connected with a good lawyer and good accountant, but if we can help you or support or
I could use, that's what I say. If I could get Max contact, I have another one. We actually got hooked up with, again, I'm very close with the whole Chia blockchains like company. So their CEO we had a private meeting with last week, and he gave us Chia's legal team. So if they're, but a good accountant that is crypto friendly, I'd like to, we got given one from that lawyer, but I'd like to, bounce between
Shop
both.
around.
Again, yeah, because some smart things like Alex, you were saying, again, locking it in at that 40K when it's gone under. Well, now you've gone up 20K, but you're looking at a $10,000 deduction.
Yep.
So those are the smart little
I got two people that we can connect you to that I can give you some more. We have podcast episodes with all of them actually. One of them though is a money manager who is a big proponent of the whole like business trust type deal.
Yep.
Where essentially you can shield things that gain value inside the confines of a business trust, and then it's all basically tax deferred forever until you withdraw the money from that to use for a non-business related expense. So it's like if you're bringing in revenue and you can afford the trust, which is not the cheapest thing ever, then it's definitely the way to go, because
LLC holding company up, pays dividends up to the trust, then then benefits go out to the members. Very versed with the legals of it. We talked to our lawyer on that with the SaaS platform of how we're developing it. He's kind of thinking again like public company, in the next few years, and so that might not necessarily be a range we want to go with, especially with wanting to get VCs involved with, again, CSAM softwares and things like that. So we can make sure that this is as safe but decentralized as possible.
Yeah, it's
sounds
really
great.
specific for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, and if we can help you any other way, let us know. Torii in the chat, who's a great member of our community, said, if I can help you make this more tech friendly, a conversation with less tech friendly, you know what I mean? Normal people friendly.
Yes.
Not that tech people aren't normal; they're a little weird. But whatever you need, let us know. And to answer the question one last time, you will need what to get this NFT? Can you buy it with cash credit, or do you have to have a certain crypto
Yeah,
right now?
no Stripe right now integration, but you can get it. We're selling them public mint right now. It's 200 US. But again, what that is and entails too is a lifetime service contract to a communications protocol. So you'll forever get free updates. You'll never, have to pay for minutes. We're actually thinking of, again, centralized, like the strength of the network, seeing as though it is a mesh node network that eventually we've already put minute coins. So it's going to be the contract that pays you back minutes. So you keeping your node up means that the perpetual nature of the network stays up. So we're going to basically, for the time, every minute that you're on as a node, we're going to give you minutes. So later on in the marketplace, we'll have, claimable items, skins, things like that, that you can use that towards to really identify yourself individually from everybody else.
Man, it's a lot to take in at once. So let me just remind everyone that we will put this up on YouTube, and we will, link to it. Are you in the Discord, brother?
I am in your Discord.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your Discord handle in case people
It's
want to ping you
ArtwithHeart
with a question?
NFT.
Huh?
ArtwithHeart NFT, I think.
ArtwithHeart NFT. Let me double check. Oh, I don't see you. Art with.
I know I've clicked on it many times.
I believe you.
Oh, I might have got, you know what? I think I get rejected by your security thing on my phone every time.
We love our
Because I'm in
security.
too many Discords. They're like, I think you're a bot.
It should be just a click a button, isn't it, Alex?
Yeah, but
I'll
there's
try when I jump back out of here. And then if I have issues, look at me. I'll be in the welcome room.
Great. Well, we will watch for you there. And I just want to make sure you're in there because that'll be the most expedient way. Discord.gg/themany. If you want to connect, also on Twitter at ArtwithHeartNFT. Thank you for joining and for telling us more about the project, brother. I wish you good luck at the pitch contest, and we'll see you around in the chat, yeah?
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
All right, man. Bye for now.
Thanks, dude.
That's fantastic. Getting a little scoop on somebody building a decentralized social network infrastructure, people.
Yeah.
That's
I'm super interested. I'll definitely reach out because I am super interested in that whole thing. That sounds exactly like it sounds like something that we've daydreamed about before, but I think maybe done a little bit differently, probably done a little bit better, or more technically explored by people with brains instead of just the pipe dreams of wishful thinkers. But I'm very intrigued by that. That sounds really fucking cool.
Yeah, and it's a tough nut to crack for all the reasons that you mentioned, Alex, in terms of how do you do sensorless without ensuring it becomes 4chan? How do you raise money in a crypto native way, but also ensure that it's not going to lose its value tomorrow? There are a lot of problems with that. How do you keep messages for people? How do you I don't know. So it's a worthy problem though, because somebody's going to solve it and provide a really great service for people. And I hope to you guys. Yeah, it's a lot to process. It was it's a technical discussion, but again, let me remind you, I am going to put this on YouTube. We are going to keep the conversation going. Alex and I are here Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, usually for about 90 minutes, and we can keep the conversation going in discord.gg/themany. Alex, what are we talking about? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say one thing that I wanted to bring up while we have everyone here is Evan and I have been toying with the idea of through one way or another doing some sort of weekly roundup newsletter. Perhaps in the future we could do something Art with your protocol that would decentralize this whole thing. But for now, We were even talking about something just as plain Jane boring Web 2 as an email list, or some sort of, a Telegram group or something that is just like easier to navigate for people than a Discord server. Because I totally recognize that Discord, especially one that's as big as ours with as many different pieces, is a little bit obnoxious to navigate. So if that is something that you are interested in, stay tuned, because Evan and I next week will probably open just like a basic email collection. So if you don't want to use your main one, totally get it. Whip up a new little burner address to subscribe to the list. And basically what we would do is every Thursday, potentially Friday, we would send out just a recap of the week, important things that we hit, stuff that we're watching, a teaser for next week, keep it briefish, shortish, and then expand it. One of the ways that Evan and I are looking at hopefully monetizing the show for us, not necessarily from all of you, would be to just increase the eyes looking at different pieces of this so that it just becomes more appealing for a sponsor.
Yeah.
And a newsletter is an awesome thing to get sponsored. Every single one can be sponsored by someone. And if they know that there are X readers, then, it just makes it more enticing for them.
Torii
let us
suggested
know.
Substack.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that, Torii. I've honestly never used it. But yeah, that would be great. Because even something as small as that makes a massive difference as people like Evan and I who don't get paid.
But the other thing we didn't talk about this yesterday, but I was thinking about it, is what would also be cool. I don't know if Substack or Notion would do this, or even like a Web3 option like Mirror is what I'm thinking. It would be cool if we could find a way to crowdsource this. Like, obviously there are a lot of us in the Discord. But wouldn't it be great if we could, post our links there every day, not to give people like one more place to go, but that we could kind of compile stuff. Like, I don't know, if Torii wanted to contribute something and said like, here's a really helpful thing that I took from the episode, and just like type up a sentence and it's a bullet point, and we can like organize it under, this is what we talked about this week. I think it would be really cool to have a newsletter that wasn't just you and me, but was us. Sharing what we learned that people could contribute to, and then we could post it in the Discord, or we could post it on Twitter, or we could host it on Substack or whatever. I would be interested in some sort of, I don't know, I don't want it to be like a Google Doc where everyone's got to type and say, did you check the changes I made? But some sort of, I don't know, maybe even a Reddit. What do you think about that, Alex? What if we did like a subreddit? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, is that a thing?
It is, but Reddit's fucking obnoxious. I don't know if anyone has ever like used it, but like navigating subreddits is worse than Discord. 100%. Like, I'd be curious, Torii, maybe you've like, done it more or used it more than me, but in my experience, like trying to navigate a subreddit, you pretty much get shut down for the tiniest deviation. They're very heavily regulated, and if you do anything that's outside, it's just a nightmare. I don't like it, honestly.
I'm actually a moderator on the Faceless Reddit, and we haven't done anything with it, actually.
Yeah.
We have a Reddit for the Faceless Mini, but I was just, it would be good to update there, because a lot of times when I search for something, I always, search for it and then search directly on the Reddit website. So it's not bad to have something there, but like community wise, I just don't enjoy Reddit as much anymore.
Yeah. No.
But I think you guys should do the Substack, because there are people like me, like I'd give you $1 or $2 a month just to incentivize you guys, because if I would give you $1 or $2, other people would too. And Substack can be tiered just like on Patreon. So people can come in for free, and then people can pay you. And it's just like a means of having it all in one place. But there is another one that's not Substack that does the same thing, and the word is like escaping me, the name of it.
Okay. Yeah.
But I really think you got like, here's what I picture. Like, you can make a Notion page that's static for free. You don't have to get the paid Notion. And then you can make it You can have a whiteboard, so it can be the hub for whenever you guys are live. And you can say, okay, go check out our Notion page. And then we can follow along what you guys are doing. You can pull up onto to the whiteboard and we can see, oh, today they're going to talk about this subject, this subject, this subject. You can have a section where we can say, can we talk about this? And we can submit it, questions and polls and everything. And it's pretty sweet, especially since it's free. Now you can go for the paid version, which looks a lot easier to use, but I haven't paid for it yet, so I have no experience with it.
Okay.
I'll show you guys what I'm building for me because I'm trying to get eyes on people on I want to make a comic that will fund a campground that will and I want to figure out how to get people POAPs too for when they like come in and say, oh yeah, Torii, this sounds really cool. I'd come to your geekified campground. Then people would, you know, come up and I'm so sorry, but words don't come to my brain as much. But I'm better at like drawing and then taking things and dissecting them a whole bunch and then producing it. But yeah, people would come and camp out, and if they funded it, they would get, some kind of token that I could also make into a patch that they would put on a jacket or a bag or something. And then I could even have it be an NFC where, they could swipe it when they get to my place and then it shows, oh yeah, I'm a founding member. And then if they were a founding member, they get extra perks or something like that. And I think that would be really sweet. And I think if I found the right people, they would give me money to do it. And I think if I had the funds to build this thing I know the right people to hire. I just don't have the money to pay them to do it. And Torii, I think it would be sweet.
Are you connected at all with the cabin community?
No. And that's where you brought it up the other day and I was like, oh my God, Evan, you're speaking to my soul.
Yeah, I've been meaning to make like a video, like an explain it to you video with everything for about 3 months.
I would love it.
What I'm going to do too is I would encourage you. I'll send you their Discord in a message. They have great infrastructure established for doing this kind of thing, and I absolutely have seen them many times. The best onboarding experience of any community I've ever been a part of online. It's very easy to go from zero to involved, and they have good infrastructure that if you didn't want to do what they were doing or like partner with them, you could steal a lot of it and ask a lot of questions. But I think it's very possible because of how you talk about it, that they would appreciate the unique takes that you have, and you would appreciate some of the rails they've built to make some of these things possible already.
Oh, for sure.
So I'm going to get you in there. I love that though. I want to do that. I want to be more involved. It's been my commitment. I'm going to get more involved in cabin because, I want to host the supper club here in Memphis. I want to host a spot here in Memphis. I wanted to build a neighborhood here in Memphis.
Oh my God.
Why not?
And I know the people in Memphis who you don't know yet that would love to help you with that. Yeah.
Random, did they find a new house, by the way? I'm so sorry.
He's gone. Well, he's just trying to sell it. He's going to go help.
Sell.
He's been through the third seller. The third, there have been issues with the bank and all kinds of weird issues. I told him it's fine because the spring is when houses really look better anyways.
Yeah, you're right about that. So I'm signing into Notion. We'll check out Substack. And that should be fruitful. Was there something else? Did I miss it?
There might be something I'm forgetting, but I can separately send that.
Yeah, and we're connected.
I don't know how to drop down.
I'm on a mission to get you
No,
in the
I
server.
can drop you down in a second. Are you well met, Torii? Is that all?
I'm well met.
Okay.
I will ramble if you don't kick me.
Listen, well, thanks for popping up and thanks for being here all the time. You're one of I love that you're creating more content here. I love that people are getting to connect with your voice. I hate it when people just say it to say it, but I'm saying it with intention. If you like this kind of stuff, you need to follow Torii. Torii is just a wonderful human. I'm pretty sure we might be the same person.
I think so.
Yeah, but thank you so much for just being a friend.
I think Torii might be a bigger nerd than you.
Oh, probably. I mean, I'm in a ham radio club, and I play D&D on the weekends.
Say, when I met Torii and her family in Savannah, they were on their way to
Yeah.
something that is nerdier than Comic-Con. Let's just put it that way.
Gen Con. Yeah, in
Yeah.
Indianapolis. We've gone to Dragon Con in Atlanta, and if you haven't gone to that, it is the best of the nerdy cons, Dragon
Yeah.
Con.
I've heard
Uh,
it.
intense. I've only seen it from afar, never been fortunate enough to be able to go. But right now I'm having massive FOMO because I'm about to miss MagicCon this year. And I was there last year for the 30th or year before for the 30th anniversary, and not this year. But I'm getting lots of pictures from friends of mine that are there and just
Oh no,
FOMOing.
tell them to take some pictures where you can just like green screen yourself in and pretend like you were there. You know?
Yeah.
Like just leave a spot for you. That'd be great. But before you drop me down, I did forget to tell you this, Alex, that when I was little, I was called Vicky. But then I hated it because I was babysitting and there was that cartoon show where the babysitter was Vicky and there's that song
Icky
and I baby.
Vicky.
Yes, exactly. And so then I was in college and I was playing Magic the Gathering. And there
Nice.
was a card with Torii with the two eyes, the sacred gateway,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, this is me. I don't want to be Vicky anymore. I'm Torii with two eyes. And so I meant to tell you so many times that my name is because of Magic the Gathering.
That's awesome. That's fucking
Cool.
great.
Love it, Tori.
All right. Well, back to crypto. Love you guys. We'll talk
Love
soon.
you too. Thank you so
Thanks,
much
Tori.
for hanging out with
Bye.
us, and we'll see you soon. What a great day. What a great day on the show. A couple of friends. Hey, did you see my baby?
I was just about to
my-
ask you, Evan, on God's green earth, what the hell is that thing?
This year, when
It's
Kim got back
horrifying.
from Mardi Gras with about 12 king cakes, because she's so thoughtful and likes to, surprise everyone, I dove into one and I got the baby in the king cake. And if you're not familiar with the tradition, let me just zoom in so you can see this little guy.
That's
If you get
horrifying.
the baby in the king cake, which is supposed to represent baby Jesus, you are supposed to have a really good year, and you are supposed to buy the king cake next year. So I got the baby. It's my year. And I started the show with this. I wanted to tell you about it, and I forgot. But I think today I had an idea for, this is my final thought. Then I want to get yours, so think about it. I had an idea for a new live series that I want to do. I was saying recently I'd like to find more ways to talk about my own spiritual journey, my faith, and specifically to call people into what I would call like faith without religion. There are people who have faith. There are people who have, religion. There are people who are not religious whatsoever, but maybe spiritual. And everyone is alive, so we're all like part of it. We're connected. We need to find ways to talk about the bigger than us stuff that are not so dogmatic, that are not so divisive. And I especially want to talk to religious people about that because I think they often are the guiltiest of making that conversation difficult to have. And since it's Lent right now, and since I look like this, I thought it would be great to do. I always see those lives. I have some friends who don't have many followers, but every now and then these people will post one of those lives that's got a banner that says like, I am a Catholic priest, ask me anything. And they'll have like 1,200 people watching or something like that. And so I thought it would be great to do one in like one of my tunics with my hair all down and like a background, like, an angelic glow, and say like, dying for your sins in 40 days because you couldn't give up Netflix. Lent begins. Ask me anything before they crucify me, or something like that. Just as a way to invite enraged people to talk about the man, perhaps Jesus of Nazareth, whose last name was not Christ, and have a little fun also for myself. And you could progress it throughout Lent. Founder of Unicorn, about to make an exit, ask me anything. I don't know. I think there are a lot of places
Is
you can play it.
fun,
And I love
is
the
fun
white Jesus
word
character.
I would use for that? I don't know.
I don't know. But I just love
I wish you luck invoking the ire of many.
I just thought it would be a fun way to hopefully not alienate people, but invite a conversation that dangerously toes the line. And that's how we got from naked babies to white Jesus. That's my final thought for the day, man. What about you?
I couldn't possibly follow that with any other thoughts.
What do we want to do next week? We were talking about maybe we need to return a little, just one more time before we like depart into wild topics to some of the architecture. I think it's all about the view cemented that for me. Maybe we could do some review, crypto, blockchain, NFTs, and wallets, tokens, keys, like how you actually get there.
I was going to say, I think that like actually onboarding in a meaningful way into this stuff without buying anything to get you to the position where you could learn if you did want to buy something. So like wallet setup, you know, key security, what the hell is a key? How does a wallet work? I flush my ledger down the toilet. Now what? That sort of stuff. You know, why do they work? Why do they matter? You know, my dog ate my treasure. You know, what to connect with, where to get started if I did want to, you know, acquire my first piece of Bitcoin or something. Something like that, you know, like the basics of like onboarding for the first time and like, you know, what to avoid, what not to, because as you get into that,
free NFT, drop your seed phrases.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, include your social security number, a good routing number for your bank, and your shoe size, please.
Write it on the back of $100 bill.
Yeah. But you know, obviously, as we get into that, then security becomes more of a thing. On that note, you know, so you know, common scams, identifying common scams, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
What,
Okay. So look for that. Jump into the Discord with us, discord.gg/the-many. Don't forget to claim your POAPs. Once you pop, the fun don't stop. Once you POAP, the fun don't stop. At discord.gg/the-many. The secret word, one more time, is double drink goblin. And we are going to be back on Monday. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for your time and attention, your most valuable asset. We are here asking you to invest. I know it. Not in this or that token, but in this time we share. And it always is 1000x for me. You too, man?
always.
Man, it's great. Thank you for being here with us. And until next time, my friends, we'll see you Monday. Rise up. Have a good weekend.